Which is a living, yes, but it's a way of life as well.
It's my life. Oh no, it's absolutely my life.
Well, eels and pies have been around for 1,000 years in London, and it's now part of the heritage and tradition of London.
Right, well the first shop that my great-grandfather started in was in Sclatter Street, which is just off of Brick Lane. Well, it goes right back 4 generations to my great-grandfather, who started the business in 1862. That was our first introduction to pie mash, obviously. Whether we were the first pie mash, I really don't know.
Well, my grandfather started this section of the pie mash shops. It's gone through the stages ever since. I continue it with my 2 brothers. We formed a small partnership, and that's our part in it. My grandfather was Michael Manzi, which is the name you'll see over our shops.
It started in the 1860s probably. We as a family business started in the 1890s. How we determined to open a pie mash shop, I really don't know. I mean, Grandfather would know more about that. It just happened. And it's been in our family since 1890.
My grandfather, Michael Manzi, he married into the pie mash, really, by marrying one of the cook's daughters. This particular shop was run by Robert Cook and owned by Robert Cook back in the 1890s.
Well, basically, it started off with just me and my old man. We were recording, researching history for 30 years, and one day we decided to, well, let's publish a guidebook and a gazetteer listing where all the pie shops are, and the whole thing, it took off. Suddenly, before we knew it, over 1,000 members.
I think you'll find all the pie shops use their own family recipe. Keeps things stable. We've used the same recipe for the last, well, nearly 100 years.
It's the basic original ingredients was 300 years ago, and it's as good today as it was then.
Well, it's the recipe that's been handed down 4 generations. I haven't altered it at all from the time I was told.
What goes into a pie, we don't tell people. They have a rough idea, but the way we make it and what we do to it is a trade secret.
Everything is secretly in here.
One of Armand's ex-pie makers come into the Eltham shop while I was there one afternoon, and he went, "I'll tell you what I will do for you. He went, I ain't going to jack the store in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to teach you how to make the pies."
Babies tend to have mash and liquor in a bowl, which is how they start on the sort of pie mash scene, really. And then as they get older, they move up to their first pie and mash.
Those that have been brought up on it as a kid treat it as sort of, I don't know, not law, but a way of life. And they come in and eat it and continue because they think there's nothing better than pie and mash. And the kids that come in with them, their children, will probably continue that way of life.
Been brought up on it all my life and on my family. It's a good meal, it's balanced all round.
I think they produce good food at a price that people can afford.
Well, I still think it's very good value for money. Even when you look at, I mean, you're looking at burgers and chicken and pizzas, which are the thing of today, all right? Plus it's heritage.
I've got jelly noodles, I ain't got pie and mash. Everyone's got their own little favourite though, ain't they, with pie and mash?
Yeah.
I'll say, you know. Manzy's nice, traditional, but what's the other one? Walworth Road ain't bad.
Yeah,
Almonds is nice, isn't it?
Ansis,
What one? Peckham?
Cabbage.
Where's that?
It's pie and mash, proper pie and mash, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all down to freshly cooked, good quality pies, a lovely liquor, plenty of parsley, good lumpy potato in my opinion, and good customer service.
I'll get bitterly disappointed if the couples, won't it? So you're saying. I'll get bitterly disappointed if there's no eyes in me potatoes.
Oh, I come here every day, so does John. Well, us three, we all do. Come here every day. This is my husband.
Is it?
We've been married 60 years.
Oh, damn.
All right.
It's lovely. Yeah, well, I'm just going to go over there for John.
Yeah.
I love it. Every day we come in here, never miss. I like the people. We're nearly friends of them. I feel all right with them, no arguments or nothing anymore. It's lovely. It's beautiful. Really lovely.
Because it's buff, it's red up, pie and mash is fat.
The new shops have opened up in the market towns and the seaside resorts. It basically reflects the way London has evolved. You've got more and more of the old traditional Londoners, the Cockneys, moving out to these new towns following the Second World War, and with them have gone the pie shops.
A lot of your East Enders have all moved out towards Essex Way, Kent if you like, or wherever, but mainly Essex I would say, and that is where a big bastion of East Enders are now. It's not really the East End here anymore.
A lot of London people have moved out over the years. London's become overcrowded. They've all started to move out to various places, and consequently the pie and mash shops have moved with them. They've had to really, just to keep going.
Well, it gives me a little bit of encouragement when I hear of the ones going out of London, still having a go, people still thinking that they can make a living from pie and mash, and they're not thinking, they do.
So I'm thinking, why the hell are they still going all the way down to Walworth Road to get their pie and mash? Why not bring pie and mash shop here?
Traditionally, it's a London item. I mean, it shouldn't go out of the provinces. I mean, London is where pie and mash is all about.
It was like slow to get off the ground in Bromley. I really thought as I opened the door, it was going to go bang, but it kind of went. Poof. There'd be like 3 or 4 people sitting eating, and 2 of them was just. Well, I used to find McDonald's wrappers and all that in the corner of the shop. I thought the only way to combat it is to feed all 4 people. There's no good 2 of them sitting there eating pie and mash, and the other 2 going, "Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that green stuff."
When Lou Farrow had it, he said put one side on the pie mash and put the one the calf, because it was the both shop.
If you want to be a pie and mash shop, then stick with pie and mash. If you want to be a cafe, then serve eggs and burgers and other things as well. But pie and mash shops sell pie and mash and eels.
My game, or the pie game, is meat pies.
It is pie and mash only. We don't sell sausages, we don't sell chips, we don't sell hamburgers. We were doing pie and mash when hamburgers and frankfurters were a breed of people.
I'd like to think that till the day I move from here or die, I will only serve pie and mash.
Pie and mash was the first original fast food. Forget McDonald's and all that business. Pie and mash, that was the one. We invented fast food. People went in, bought pie and mash, took it home. For McDonald's, they nicked all the idea.
It's still the very first fast food, because I could serve a pie and mash up there quicker than they can serve McDonald's. Guaranteed.
The future. I suppose it's a family dynasty type thing. If there's a family to take over from the present owners, then it'll continue. It'll only die if the families that are running them now don't have a survivor to continue their bit.
We're one of the forerunners in pie and mash. It's worldwide renowned, so I am proud to be part of it. It is essential. It's traditional part of London is the pie and mash shops.
You don't want to let the people down that you're serving, as it were, in the community. I mean, if the pie shop's closed, it's the end of the world.
It may have died a bit over the last 50 years, but not dying as such.
No, pie and mash is not dying out. In fact, there's as many shops today as there was 100 years ago.
I think there'll always be an outlet for pies and mash if it's done properly.
All the time that we're allowed to serve and produce pie and mash in Deptford, then we'll continue to do that.
It's not a job, it's my life. I don't see it as a job.
It is a living, yes, but it is a way of life as well.
It's my life. Oh no, it's absolutely my life.